Hey, it's Joy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a stunning and elegant card for Maker Forte using layering dies. These happen to be the Daffodils 4 Days, and this is a 4 die set. And I chose to use the colors Eggplant, which is, they're all from my stash, copper, gold, and a silver glitter cardstock to create this. And then I also create my own cardstock using some kaleidoscope powder, but I will get to that in just a few minutes. Anyway, I put each of these through my platinum die cutting machine, and these are intricate dies, so you want to make sure that you get, a really good cut with these. With the thinner cardstocks, meaning the metallics and the eggplant, it was very easy. I did run my glitter cardstock through twice, just back and forth, because glitter cardstock has a lot of texture and it's thicker. So I did take my time with the die cutting. I'm using my crafter's wand from Maker Forte, and I am just going through and poking out all the little intricate pieces, because every piece layers on top of each other, so you don't want pieces that aren't supposed to be there. So it's very important to make sure you get all the pieces. Now, talking about the glitter cardstock, I used the most intricate, thinnest part of the die, which would be the very top layer, to create this. So I took my time, and I'm showing that, where I am poking it out one by one. I'm flipping it back and forth to make sure that I'm getting all the pieces, because at this point, if you just rip haphazardly, you're going to tear those pieces and you're going to have to start over just with that piece. But I think it's just really important to keep the detail and to take your time on this, and I think it's totally worth it. If you like to inlay, this would be a beautiful die set to do that with. That's not my jam, but you could do that if that is your jam. So this is where I am coming in and making my own cardstock. I am using the Eclipse cardstock from Maker Forte and Vegas strip kaleidoscope powder. And what I do is I take my embossing ink and I just rub that straight onto the cardstock, and then using my tool end brush, I apply the Vegas strip powder. Now with the kaleidoscopes, if you use a piece of white cardstock, it'll be a completely different look than if you use black. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 on this. If you are interested, anytime you buy a product from Maker Forte, there is a QR code on the back, and it will show you how to use the products. There's at least 30 ways that you can use kaleidoscope powder, so I encourage you to look them up. Now, I work at a fixative just to set this powder. You can use aerosol hairspray if you've got that on hand. So now you're going to see me start layering my dies. So I chose, for the paper that had the widest or the least intricate detail, to use copper, because that was going to pop against that cardstock that I made with the kaleidoscope powder. And then I chose to come in with a gold, and you're going to see from there that I decided to cut the corners off of that and just have the circles of the Daffodil for Days dies that show. I loved the copper. I loved that popping through. So that's why I wanted those intricate scrolls to be showing and taking its full glory against the papers. So you're going to see that I am using an adhesive tape runner. I'm going to tell you to go very delicate with those, or else you're going to rip the paper. As I get into the glitter cardstock, I barely use it, and I just use enough to tack it down, because I don't want to rip it, because that is the most intricate, thinnest part of the die. So I just tell you to be careful and to be aware of that. Um, I'm like a bull in the china closet, so I definitely have to be careful. So I love the way that eggplant cardstock kind of broke up the metallics before I put the silver on. And I just think that all of the layers pop. I like it before I even mat it, but look at this once I put down the bluish color. It is stunning. So when you put all the layers together, it measures 4 by 5 1/4. So I did have to trim down my card, the newly created blue cardstock with my trimmer, and then I put down the entire set of layers with some wet glue to adhere that nice and well. Now, I did go back, and any of the pieces that were loose, I glued down with my wet glue. Remember, I said I kind of went light with the silver cardstock. So here I'm making a card base. I think sometimes we take it for granted that people know how to do it. So I took a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 sized piece of Eclipse cardstock, and then I scored it at 4 1/4 along the long side. And if you notice, I score both sides of that, and then I come in and fold it and score in, really crease that. That's a great way to make a card and get the perfect fold. Now, I decided to use some fun foam to pop up my layer. So one side of that was adhesive, and that was from my stash. And then I come in with my ATG gun, and I put down adhesive with that just because it's a super strong adhesive and I don't want anything to lift up, if that makes any sense. But because I never get anything straight, I still come in with my wet glue so that I have a little bit of wiggle time. I know that that's silly, but it works for me. And that's just a little tip for you in case you have the same problem. And then that's when I come down with the Eclipse card base that we just created, and I put down that layer. And I think this is very pretty. I'd love to know what you think. So if you like this project, I would encourage you to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live again. And also leave me a comment below on what you think. So here I took that same eggplant cardstock from my stash, and I just have a strip of that. And I come in with the Grateful to You stamp set, and I use the Happy Birthday sentiment. Now, I use silver embossing powder. It's fine detail, and I do that. I left that out because I think everybody knows how to emboss at this point, and I just did that as a strip going across the top. I love the way that this has turned out. I don't feel like I needed much more decoration, so I just came in with some crystal gems, like silver crystal. I put a big one in the center, and then you'll see me kind of debating, do I want to put any more down? And I really struggled with, do I want more? And of course, I always want more because bling is good, right? So I go down and I put down smaller gems just on the corners of that inner star, if you will. Now, just to make you aware that there are some May events with Maker Forte. Today, the 3rd, at 7:30, there's our new release video over on the Hedgehog Hollow channel. On the 9th, we've got the Mr. Maker Monday. On the 11th, we've got a Lift Your Spirits. On the 20th, we have Foiling Fantasies, and then we have the Crafter Party virtual weekend on May 21st through the 22nd. So you could subscribe to text messages for when Alexandra goes live, if you're interested in that, or you can sign up for the emails, and you can always find it on the website as well. So that's just a little bit of information, but I really do appreciate you hanging out with me this long, and until next time, keep crafting, guys. Thank you so much, and have a great night. Bye-bye.